Ms. Bernheim from...
Hello everybody, and thanks very much. Before turning to the context and the road from Lima to Paris, I would like to say a few words about the common goal we all share, Hong Kong and mainland China, how we can tackle together these challenges. Of course, China's role is crucial, and it has already shown some goodwill by its action to reduce, for example, reliance on coal. And our expectation from our Chinese partner is an ambitious domestic contribution to the future agreement. But in Hong Kong, too, you have issued an ambitious climate change agenda, and we are thankful for all of Hong Kong's efforts to push forward and carry out these objectives with cooperation with mainland China, in particular Guangdong province. So we can prepare together COP21 in Paris. It was mentioned, Hong Kong will participate in the Chinese delegation, and so I'm sure it can influence by its idea the Chinese delegation. And also the potentiality for cooperation in the green economy in Hong Kong is huge. As shown actually by an initiative which was made last year by the French Chamber of Commerce here, which gathered the Hong Kong government, some major businesses from all sectors, and some local universities to explore creative solutions in order to make Hong Kong a smart, green city in the future. For COP21, also, the states will need the cities to help reach the goals. And the international cities network, such as C40, in which Paris and Hong Kong are active, can deliver a message on our capacity to reverse the trends at local level and to help the governments find the appropriate path. So Hong Kong and Paris as a city, can pave the way to COP21 at their level too. As you know, France is very committed to struggle against what we call climate disruption, actually, which is a national priority since 2001. We already have one of the lowest levels of per capita greenhouse gas emissions of the developed countries, and we just adopted a new law in order to put up our ecological and energy transition. All that to say that France is well aware of the opportunities of such a transition and keen to share its experience with other countries who are planning or implementing such a transformation. We see climate change, and this is one of the motto of our presidency of the COP. We see it not only as a challenge, but also as an opportunity to innovate, to create jobs and growth, to improve energy security and competitiveness, and to improve health. So in line with its long commitment, France offered and has been accepted as the host for the next climate conference, and this is the top priority of French diplomacy this year. We are aiming at reaching a universal climate agreement, taking effect by 2020, focusing on mitigation and also adaptation, respectful of the principle of differentiation. This agreement should be sufficiently ambitious to undertake the transformation needed to meet the 2-degree goal, because there is no 4-degree, and there cannot be any 4-degree Celsius goal. If we reach 4 degrees, it means we're dead. It needs to have some common legal rules and be flexible enough to adapt in the years to come. I want also to insist on that point. It will not be the end of the story. The objective mentioned in this agreement will have to take into consideration the capacity of countries to contribute and to enforce international cooperation. In Lima, every country without exception expressed its will to sign an agreement in Paris in December 2015, and that was a unique historic achievement already. President panelists have explained what we can retain. Remember from Lima and the Lima Call for Action. Concretely, the talks will resume in February in Geneva, aiming at producing a draft agreement in May. INDC, we have the November deadline where the UNFCCC will produce its report, and there were other progress, as mentioned. In 2015, the role of the French chair is to ensure the transparency of the process and to work with all countries to support the adoption of a UCA. Even if COP20 confirmed that almost all parties want this UCA, it's clear that little progress was made on the substance of such an agreement. But we consider it as actually quite, it was expected, quite understandable. If interesting discussions took place on the different possible options, the parties didn't give yet their defensive position. It's absolutely normal 1 year before the last negotiation. So France is going throughout the year to conduct transparent discussions on the key points, including differentiation between developed and developing countries, the legal form of the agreement, adaptation and funding, so that we make sure that the identification of compromises for these issues are not left to the last weeks of the conference, even to the last days or last hours of the conference. Our motto, I will finish by that for this conference, very classical: listening, ambitious, spirit of compromise. Our aim is that COP21 should not be a conference of constraints, it should be a conference of solutions. The problem is very serious, it's affecting the planet, but everybody can also contribute, not only states, but non-state actors, business communities, NGOs, cities, regions. Solutions are at help to help us cope with it and bring development, jobs, and comfort. So, of course, we are positive about what's going to happen next. Thank you.